You don't have to believe everything you think. Let that sink in for a second. Because right now, there's a war happening in your head. And the enemy isn't your past, your boss, or even your anxiety. It's your thoughts. The quiet voice that whispers, "You're not good enough." The loop that replays that one mistake over and over. The spiral that turns one worry into 10 new fears. And the worst part? Most of us don't even realize we're listening. We don't control our minds, because our minds are controlling us. But what if I told you that you're not your thoughts? That you can separate yourself from them, observe them, and choose which ones actually deserve your attention? This isn't about positive thinking or forcing a fake smile. It's about mental freedom. And it starts with understanding one powerful truth. Your thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts. If you've ever felt trapped inside your own head, if you've ever laid in bed replaying conversations or beating yourself up over something you said or didn't say, if you've ever asked yourself, "Why can't I stop thinking like this?" then this video might be the shift you didn't know you needed. Because by the end of it, you're going to learn how to stop swimming in your thoughts and start stepping back, to see them clearly, choose them consciously, and take back control of your mind. Stay with me. This isn't just psychology. This is personal. Imagine a fish swimming in water. It doesn't realize it's in water because it's always been there. That's exactly how most of us live inside our thoughts. We don't notice them. We don't question them. We just believe them. And that's where the trap begins. Psychologists call this cognitive fusion, when your thoughts feel like absolute truth. You don't just have a thought. You become it. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. There was a guy. Let's call him Miguel. Miguel had friends, a social life, and a good sense of humor. But every time he hung out with people, he'd spiral. He'd crack a joke, then immediately worry. Did I offend someone? He'd get invited to 2 different places at once and panic. What if I choose wrong? What if someone gets hurt? And then the real storm would hit. Why am I like this? I shouldn't be this anxious. What's wrong with me? Sound familiar? Miguel wasn't just anxious. He was stuck in a war against his own thoughts, trying to force them away, arguing with them, judging himself for having them. And the more he resisted, the louder they got. He didn't realize that all his energy was going into fighting his mind, instead of living his life. That's cognitive fusion. It's when you're so tangled up in a thought that it becomes your reality. You don't even notice it's just a sentence in your head. And what made it worse? Miguel had an invisible rule running his life. A rule he never questioned. He believed he must never make anyone feel bad. Not ever. Even if that meant saying yes when he wanted to say no. Even if it meant staying in a relationship long past the expiration date. Even if it meant pretending he was fine. When inside, he was exhausted. He didn't see that thought. I must not make anyone feel bad. For what it really was. Just a belief. A mental habit. A lens he was looking through. And once he could see it, something clicked. He said, "Wait, I can't control how others feel, but I can choose to be kind and honest." That tiny shift gave him space. It broke the loop. Because here's the truth. You don't have to believe every thought your brain throws at you. Your mind is a word machine. Some of it's helpful, some of it's nonsense. You get to choose. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a random, weird, or even disturbing thought? And then felt ashamed like, why did I think that? Here's the secret. You didn't choose that thought. It just showed up. Because that's what minds do. They generate thoughts. All day, every day. Some are brilliant. Some are ridiculous. Some are dark, weird, or straight up useless. But here's the trick. You don't have to fight them. You just have to notice them. This is where cognitive defusion comes in. It's the skill of stepping back from your thoughts. Not to push them away, but to observe them. To see them as mental events, not reality. Let's try something right now. Think of a negative thought you've had recently. Something like, I'm a failure. Now say it in your head like this. I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. Did you feel the shift? Let's go one step further. I notice that I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. It's subtle, but powerful. You've just created space between you and the thought. That space is freedom. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the one noticing them. And the moment you can observe a thought instead of being consumed by it, you have power. Power to decide if that thought is useful. Power to let it stay or let it pass. Power to choose your next action, not based on fear, but on your values. Want another way to practice this? Use humor. Take that thought, I can't do anything right, and say it out loud in a goofy cartoon voice, or sing it to the tune of Happy Birthday. I can't do anything right. I know it sounds silly, but it works, because it breaks the spell. It reminds you, this is just a bunch of words in your head, not a prophecy. Here's one more technique. Name your thoughts. Literally. When that inner critic shows up, give it a name. Call it Doubt Debbie or Negative Ned. Then say, oh hey Ned, thanks for the input. Not helpful today. You're not suppressing your thoughts. You're disempowering them. Because when you name the voice, you're no longer inside the storm. You're the one watching the weather. And once you learn to watch, to notice, to create space, you unlock something most people never do. Mental choice. In the next part, we'll take this even deeper. And I'll show you a powerful metaphor that can change the way you relate to every thought you've ever had. Your thoughts are like glasses. They color how you see the world. And most of the time, you don't even know you're wearing them. If you put on red-tinted glasses, everything looks red. If you put on fear-tinted glasses, everything feels like a threat. If you put on I'm not good enough glasses, suddenly the world becomes proof that you'll never measure up. But what if you could take those glasses off? What if you could look at your thoughts instead of looking through them? Let me tell you a story. There was a girl I once worked with. We'll call her Rachel. Rachel believed one thing with all her heart. I'm unlovable. It wasn't just a thought. It was her truth. Until one day she picked up a giant 10-pound rock, wrote I'm unlovable on it, and carried it around with her, literally. That rock represented her belief, and every day she carried it, she felt heavy, tired, exhausted. Then something happened. She realized that just because she had that rock, it didn't mean she had to hold it. She could put it down. She could notice it, without carrying it. That's the shift. We all carry mental rocks. Thoughts we picked up years ago. Beliefs we never questioned. Stories we tell ourselves over and over. But we forget. Just because we've carried them for a long time doesn't mean they belong to us. You can set them down. Another client had a different strategy. She named her negative thoughts Billy Bob. Every time her inner critic popped up, you're not smart enough. You'll mess this up. She'd just smile and say, oh, Billy Bob's back. Classic no arguing, no drama, just awareness. That's defusion. That's power. You see, when you buy a thought, you give it power. When you notice a thought, you take that power back. You are not what your mind says you are. You are the observer, the chooser, the one who decides which thoughts are worth believing. So next time your brain throws something harsh at you, pause. Ask, is this thought helpful? Does this help me live the life I want? If the answer is no, you don't have to fight it. Just let it pass. Like a train pulling into the station. You can watch it arrive. You can read the destination, but you don't have to get on. That's the gift of awareness. It gives you the ability to stop living on autopilot and start choosing. And that, my friend, is what changes everything. In the final part of this video, we're going to connect the dots. And I'll give you one powerful question that can help you take back control of your mind. Anytime, anywhere. So now you know. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. And the moment you start noticing, you stop obeying. You don't have to argue with every voice in your head. You don't have to win the fight. You just have to step back also and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? That question is your power. Because when you stop trying to control every thought, you start controlling your mind. You create space. You create choice. You create freedom. Miguel learned that he didn't have to stop being anxious to enjoy a party. Rachel realized she could set down the rock she'd been carrying for years. And you, right now, you're learning to see your thoughts for what they are. Words, not truths. You'll still have bad thoughts. Everyone does. But now you don't have to believe them. You don't have to follow them. You can notice them. And then choose something better. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence. You're building a mind that doesn't sabotage you. A mind that works with you, not against you. So if this video made something click for you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment. Share your experience. Send this to someone who needs it. And hit that subscribe button. Because this is just the beginning. You're not just watching content anymore. You're becoming the architect. Let's go.